Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Beach FM 106.3, and now from Paikakariki, but recently in rather regal places. It's my very great pleasure to welcome to the program Ralph McAlister. Good morning to you, Ralph.
And good morning to you, sir. And I just was checking with you that I thought it might be quite interesting for your listeners to hear about my experience at Government House at the weekend or last Friday, because it's quite an interesting experience you go through. So I thought if with your permission, I won't talk about a book today. I'll talk about Government House and what happened there and what happened about 50 years ago when I went there for the first time.
Well, please do. What happened?
Right. Well, the occasion at the weekend was Jan Bulbul, who's a local resident and talented dramatist, dancer, teacher. She was given the Order of the New Zealand Merit, ONZM, and I wasn't going to be able to go to her ceremony, which is held at Government House in Wellington, next to Wellington College, because I would be in Waiheke. But then, of course, the lockdown occurred, so it was all postponed, my Waiheke, and also, of course, the ceremony. So the ceremony was rescheduled, and we all went in last Friday. And the structure is just really fascinating. It's the building is beautiful. It's been renovated through the years. They have a wonderful collection of paintings, original, and some of them very precious. But when you get there, you drive up the beautiful grounds, and you get people directing you to the main parking area. And then you go in with your group. Jan, every person who was being honoured or given a medal was allowed to take eight people with them, 8 guests, right? Mm-hmm. But of course, it's always very securely scrutinized, and you get not quite frisked as you go in. But then you go in and you meet the people inside the main door, and then they, this time, instead of serried ranks, you get settled in the ballroom, which is a beautiful room. And there's music being played by Bruce Greenfield, who's been doing it for years, pounding out the ivories background on the piano. And you sit round the table, and there are about 8 tables for 8 different honours list people. And then you chat with your water and things in front of you until you get briefed by the aide-de-camp. I think that's the way to pronounce it.
I think so, yes.
And so when the actual recipients get taken away, they are told privately what to do. They come back in, and then the ceremony starts sharp at 2 o'clock. And at 2 o'clock, in comes the Governor-General, Patsy this time. She's been there for a couple of years now. And Patsy lady, she stands there. We all stand. We all sing. Well, we don't sing, but they play half of the God Save the Queen. Why half? Some people probably don't know this, but you're not allowed to play the whole of God Save the Queen if the Queen's not there.
Oh.
So that's a piece of interesting, useful information.
Which I've never come across before. I've never been in these elevated places, Ralph. Not like some of us. This is fascinating. Please carry on.
Okay, so you sit there, and then there's a citation read by a beautifully voiced microphoned woman who's a friend of a friend. But she then says, "This is Jan Bulbul," and actually Jan was first to be honoured, and so she walks up to the slate rostrum level and talks quietly to the Governor-General for about a minute, and then she has the medal pinned on her, and as she walks back to our table, Patsy, or the Governor-General, gets us all to applaud. Now that happens 8 times, and then and it's from a diverse group of people. I mean, one of them's a fire and emergency Queen's Service Medal, one's services to seniors, one's to rugby, one's to gymnastics,
Yes.
And so there's a wonderful diversity about the group. After that, of course, we're all treated to an elegant high tea at our table. And you know what a high tea is, do you?
Well, it's sort of scones and sandwiches and some things, isn't it? And a cup of tea.
And it's also very Scottish, and it started there, if I'm right. And of course, it's a high tea because everything's on 3 levels.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
That's the reason. And of course, high teas in Scotland I was brought up in because of all these years ago. Anyway, so you have your high tea and you have your glass of champagne, and I have water because I don't drink wine. And then halfway through all that, which is really nice, the place is opened up to you. But before that, each of the recipients goes into a private room and has a chat with the guests to the Governor General, just for about 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And what surprised me, and I'm not boasting, but it was really surprising that when I was introduced, the first thing she said to me, "Oh, I do enjoy your reviews, Rob."
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
She would have met, during the half hour that went on, she would have met about 80 different people. And she spoke, as far as I was aware, to every single one in our group. And it's not the compliment. I mean, that's lovely to have from anybody, but the efficiency of her briefing and the fact that, So anyway, then you go off and you wander the rooms. You're not allowed to go upstairs to the private areas, which I've been to several times. And you look at the paintings, and you either just wait until the taxis arrive and you go off to your wonderful post celebrations wherever you have them arranged, and that's it. Now, it may be that it might be a good idea from your point of view that I postpone chapter 2 of this till next time.
All right, I'm fascinated.
Well, you see, I used to go with Bruce and Diana Mason and play tennis at
goodness me.
And we were allowed to have all the vegetables afterwards that were in the garden because the others were all up in Auckland, and we so I've got lots of other stories.
Oh, this is fascinating. This is wonderful. Well, I can't wait till episode 2. It's like the second chapter in a wonderful novel. Have you ever thought about writing a book, by the way, Ralph?
Oh, of course, people ask me that all the time, and I say no, because why? Because there are so many wonderful writers out there, and I've always been, to me, without being immodest, a reasonable conversationalist in terms of journalism and also criticism, which I've done for many years. But I'm not a writer. I bow to the superior qualities of the people who really like writing. My main claim to fame, as far as I'm concerned, as a critic and also as a teacher, which has always been my first love. But next week, if your listeners don't say, "What's he going on about?" I'll talk to you about tennis up and united on the stool of where you're kneeling for.
How wonderful. How wonderful. This has been an absolute delight. Congratulations to you and also to Jan. And she certainly deserved that award, didn't she? Because, as you say, she's contributed so much over the years. And I think that we could also include, in addition to the qualities that you ascribe to her, she's also a writer, isn't she?
Absolutely. I've done all her scripts, dramaturged them all. And, that's one of the reasons, apart from being a very close friend, I was there, because she says herself that most of this would not have been happening, apart from the fact that Ralph was there helping me with scripts and acting, and she was never an actor until I put her on stage. And at one stage she said, "Can I just use a podium and read the script?" And I said, "No."
And so a star was born. Wonderful, Ralph. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait for episode 2 next week here on Beach FM. Thank you, my friend.
106.3 Beach FM.